My name is Nancy Sagona, and today I am going to discuss why we should not let science interfere in our matters of faith. Have you ever wondered why we're not satisfied? No matter what we have, there's never enough. We want more and more and more. Just think about a few people: Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jackson, and others. Charles Darwin, how their fame, their fortune, their education, their intelligence was never enough. Why is that so? How come? Who are we? And what does science say our purpose is? Why are we here? Unfortunately, science says that we don't have a purpose, that we're here by mistake. And our only purpose is to survive and to have our species eradicated and survive their weaknesses. And then we're going to die. If there is no valid explanation from science, then why not look to the Bible for answers? My next question is, if I can offer you a chance to know God today, would you accept? If I could give you a chance to live out and get to know Jesus and God from the Bible and let you live a life of satisfaction, would you say yes to my question? People should not let science dictate their beliefs in God. Today I'm going to show you 3 examples of science and the Bible. First, I'm going to tell you how science believes how the universe was created. Then I'm going to tell you how science believes that creation got on the universe. Then I'm going to tell you how the Bible thinks the universe was created and how creation ended up on the earth. We're going to talk first about the Big Bang Theory. Now, this is the scientific experts' best effort to explain how our universe was created. It's called the Big Bang Theory, and I'm going to give you a definition because to summarize it can be very difficult, especially because it's so inconsistent in theory. So I will offer you the definition. It says it is the cosmological theory holding that the universe originated 20 billion years ago from a violent explosion of small conglomerations of matter and high density and heat. This theory is blind faith and is completely inconsistent in beliefs and observations of science. The second point I'm going to make about the Big Bang Theory is that it is science's attempt to explain how singularity got here. They do not know how singularity got here, why, or what it is. This is a problem. There's a huge hole in science today because of this, and I'll tell you one thing. There are so many inconsistencies with this Big Bang Theory that with all the modern data from science, it's not gaining popularity because of this. There is no solution to this problem because science can't even identify the problem with it. So there is a huge gap. Science fails us in this matter. Now let's talk about how science thinks creation got on the universe. I will read you also the definition of evolution and natural selection, because it too is hard to summarize very fast. The process by which species of organisms arise from earlier life forms and undergo changes over time through natural selections. Natural selection relies on a theory that we must have a common ancestor. Well, folks, I hate to tell you, there's no fossil evidence today that exists that there's evidence of that on Earth. The second thing science still can't explain is why all diseases have not yet been eradicated. Why do cells age and die? How come I'm getting older as I'm standing here? Example number 2 is human cells age and then we die. How could the process of evolution and natural selection not stop and prevent and eradicate diseases and age processing and result ultimately in death of a cell? Before I get into my main and last point, I just want to give you a real quote from scientists who are in an organization that they must have a PhD in science, biology, or above that to even sign the mission statement. Many people, I'm going to give you the quote, think that it's too complex to understand science in its entirety, and there's too complex answers. So they just must not understand, and they leave it up to the scientists to understand for them. This is the quote from the organization. It says, "We are skeptical of all claims for the ability of random mutation of cells and natural selection to account for the complexity of life. PhD or up to be in this society. It's on the internet. I will give you references after I leave today. If there is not a valid explanation from science, then why don't you look to the Bible and God, the Creator, for answers? In Genesis, it says that the world in creation came into anxiety and it was spoken to existence by God himself. Genesis identifies a problem, offers a solution, and today it gives you a purpose. Conclusion: we can't worry and base our beliefs on what science says because they offer absolutely no proof, no concrete proof. Science will always argue science, and science will always change. But the Bible, year after year, century after century, does not change. It stays the same. Today I showed you a few things. I showed you science is far from true and far from simple. I hope today that you can decide to take a look into God as our Creator for yourself and get their life's questions answered. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you for coming.